always shows up for SNMA, and we are just so grateful for you and for your support and for you being here with us to be with us. Dr. Paul.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope that sign stays there. So, I'm just going to take a few moments. I have a few prepared thoughts that I want to share with you. Can everyone hear me in the back? Perfect. So, thank you for inviting me to be a part of this event, and I'm honored to be here today. To the SNMA students of UC San Diego School of Medicine, I say congratulations and great job on organizing this anti-Black racism protest. There goes my sign. The Black medical students have created this platform to encourage UC San Diego Medical Health to become an anti-racist institution. So let's use this opportunity to educate and raise the awareness of the racial injustices, racial disparities, and racial inequities that Black people have dealt with everywhere, including on the campus of UC San Diego. This gathering represents the students' call to action that is imperative to change the culture, the systems, and the policies at UC San Diego Health. To our non-Black allies, thank you for your support, which provides unity and solidarity for this cause. Although you can never truly know the horror and pain that Black people have endured for centuries, or the constant fear, hate, microaggressions, and racial indignities that we all live with every day in our lives. We applaud you for standing with us and trying to understand our plight. Being silent is being complicit. So we need you to speak up against racism on our behalf. We ask that you take the time necessary to educate yourself on the history of slavery, the violation of our civil rights as human beings, and be willing to have an honest conversation about racism and how it has affected Black Americans for over 400 years. By doing so, you will become a more knowledgeable and passionate ally for us. This would be a good first start in allowing us to move forward together in a meaningful way. Systemic and structural racism permeates through every aspect of a Black person's life. Racial injustice has affected the Black community in so many ways: housing, education, economics, policing, criminal justice, and of course, healthcare. Racism is a public health matter. The lack of access to good quality healthcare, food insecurity, and so many other contributing factors are what causes the disproportionate rates of illness and disease in the Black community. So please remember all the racial injustices that I have just mentioned when you are caring for Black patients, and please don't allow your implicit biases to affect the care you provide for them. So in closing, for the success and the mental health of the Black students at UC San Diego School of Medicine, it is crucial that they no longer experience racism on this campus. They should not have to feel disrespected, marginalized, alienated, and neglected while attending this institution. They have a list of demands that should be taken seriously and addressed immediately. I applaud them for courageously raising their concerns, and I support them 100%. Black Lives Matter. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Plum. I just want to make one reminder to everyone: if you would like to make any comments, please let Teresa and Mihiri know. At this time, we're going to be transitioning to the portion of this event where we take time to kneel in silence. Kneeling is both an act of defiance and resistance, but also an act of mourning and honoring the lives that have been lost. 8 minutes and 46 seconds is going to feel like a long time for you. You may feel discomfort, but that's nothing compared to what George Floyd felt when he said, "I can't breathe." Systemic racism keeps its knee on the neck of Black people. We live this every day. We live it every day as medical students, but for the first time, all of society is seeing that, and there's a collective shift in thinking. So let's use this time as community for reflection and transformation. Take this protected 8 minutes and 46 seconds to think beyond our institutions and imagine a world that doesn't rely on racist structures and policing, and what it would take to get there, and what it would take from you to help us get there. So if I can ask everyone to take a knee at this time. We're going to start the timing now. I just want to lead you into this time with a few words. Breathe breath that George Floyd can no longer breathe. Breathe breath that Breonna Taylor can no longer breathe. Breathe breath that Ahmaud Arbery can no longer breathe. Breathe breath that Mike Brown, Trayvon Martin, Sandra Bland, Tony McDade, Tamir Rice, and countless others whose lives mattered cannot breathe. Thank you everyone for taking that time for reflection. At this time,
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here. These moments mean everyone banding together like this, having sound understanding of a strong message, is anti-racist, promoting one another, partnering with our Black community. It means more to me than I can honestly explain. When I was growing up, I had to learn what it meant to be Black. It started in my household. My father told me, when you get involved with police, make sure it's yes sir, no sir. Make sure you have your hands on the wheel. No sudden movements. Have your ID, your registration, everything ready. Do exactly as you're told. Because you are perceived as a threat. And that doesn't matter what degree I have. It doesn't matter what I've done for my community. It's scary. A lot of people live in fear every day because of the color of their skin. That's tragic. We've been fighting this battle for hundreds of years. My grandparents, my parents, every day, just like everyone else, they pick up their lunch pail, they go to work. They're good Americans, but they get treated differently by their peers. When I came to UCSD, one of the reasons why I came was a commitment to underserved and underrepresented communities, a commitment to diversity, and a commitment to taking care of everyone and giving everyone the equal opportunity to be healthy, to live lives that they deserve. 5 years ago, we had a protest, White Coats for Black Lives, following a police incident, and we're here again 5 years later. If that doesn't tell you that we haven't done enough, I don't know what does. If we have to keep watching videos of people getting murdered and still stand idly, I don't really know what will call anybody else to action. But I'm telling everybody here now, we have power. We have numbers. And to be honest, we're doctors, so we're gonna have a little bit of money. We can put that money to causes that promote anti-racist agendas. We can put that money and inject it back into our youth and the Black and brown communities of America. Because I'm looking at all these faces here and I'm seeing a lot of white coats. So that's telling me there's a lot of potential there. There's extreme value there. And we have to recognize that. We have to continue to push for it. We have to continue to push our demands. Because if they're not going to listen now, they're going to have to keep listening in the future. Because this is not going to stop. We're healthcare providers. We want people to have the equal opportunity through their own health. And we must advocate for all of our patients continuously. And we must continue to diversify. Because honestly, one thing that I found very difficult in this time was reaching up to another African American physician that I could find right away, that I could speak to immediately about how I was feeling. It's hard to explain what it's like to go through some of the things we go through. And if we can be able to listen to each other and keep pushing each other to show each other that we love one another, not based on the color of their skin or the way you look, based on who you are through your character as a person, I think we can make progress. So thank you all for being here. And thank you everyone across the world who's been protesting this issue. For one of the first times in a long time, I really felt like people have believed what they said when they said Black Lives Matter.
Now let's put some action behind it and let's do something about it.
Give it up one more time for Dr. Simpson himself. It's definitely not easy to share, especially things that are that intimate and close to us and that cause them at pain. Thank you for sharing. I didn't hear that anybody wanted to come up and make any statements. I want to extend that offer one more time before we start closing up.
Haven't meant enough to people for a long time. And since the invention of the cell phone and videos, seeing yourself on television and seeing how we don't matter is traumatizing. For me, it was Trayvon Martin. That was the first time. And the reason is because we went to the corner store to get some snacks during halftime of a basketball game. My little brother and I used to do that every day. And we would go down there, we would get our candy, we would come back home. And that's what he tried to do. And someone killed him. And for some reason, that divided the country. Some people thought he deserved it. I was consumed by that story. I was in graduate school at the time, but every day I came home, I was glued to the television to find out what the country was going to do about it. There have been countless days in Trayvon Martin. Fast forward, I'm in medical school. I'm studying for my licensing exam. And then I hear about Ahmaud Arbery. He's going for a run. It's something he does all the time. Somebody thought they had a gut feeling that he stole something. So they decided to chase him, to detain him. Not cops. Used to be a cop. They chased that man up and down the street, zigzagged, jumped in a ditch, tried to get away. And when he realized he couldn't get away, he decided to fight. He was shot 3 times, trying to save his own life. That happened 3 months ago. He was silent. No one said anything. The cell phone video was released. You could watch this kid. He killed, fall down in the street. I had just been starting to run again myself. And now I'm thinking to myself, should I go for a run? Should I have my ID? Should I have my medical student ID? Should I let someone know when I'm going? What do I do if I see the police? Do I run the different direction? Fast forward. George Floyd. We watched the cop kneel on him for 8 minutes and 46 seconds, something that you all just did right now. It's a long time. And we did it in silence. That officer knelt while the man was begging for his life, and he didn't move. That's awful. Now I said I'm studying for my licensing exam. That's an important test. Everybody here knows that. It's a stressful test. It's an expensive test. It's something that you should be able to dedicate 100% of yourself to when you're studying for it. Instead, I'm consumed by protests. All lives matter. He shouldn't have fought back. consumed by that. Some days I can study, some days I can try to put it on the back burner. Other days were a wash. I couldn't study anymore. So I go for a run, come home, try to relax a bit. But I couldn't. Glued to my phone, reading stories. What happened? What's next? What is anybody going to do about this? I'll study tomorrow. You know, I take my test on Thursday, and I'm still doing questions about PTSD. How do you treat PTSD? Use medication? Use therapy? It's hard to learn how to treat PTSD when you're continuously being traumatized over and over again. Black Lives Matter. Thank you all for coming out.
Afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Sarah Washington. I'm one of the faculty here. We are at an important inflection point in history. We are, whether we want to believe it or not, people will look back at this time and this place. And I want to say something to all of our white accomplices, as we said, that choosing to do nothing is complicit. And so think about Nazi Germany before the end, before the fall of Nazi Germany, and think about how you think about all those Germans who went along to get along, who just wanted to live their life and have their job, and idly stood by at the genocide of people. We all live in a community. We all live within family. So now is the time to do something. It's not enough to be here and stand with us. This is an inflection point in history. So if you are white and you are here today, please do something. Say something. Write something. Appeal to somebody in your community, in your family, in your legislative district. Call for action. Because doing nothing is complicit. I guess it's afternoon, but maybe it's not a totally good afternoon. I'm Cheryl Anderson. I am newly appointed Dean of the River High School of Public Health and Human Health Education. I'm deeply distressed, and I stand here knowing that, as our colleague just said, we are at a turning point in history. We are a turning point in UC San Diego's history, and I pledge to you this very day that we are going to, in a systematic way, dismantle power, privilege, race, and health, and the things that it does to our scholarship, our teaching, our livelihoods. This is something that those of us who stand beside you as scholars of public health know all too well. Racism is a public health crisis in America, and we must change it. I hope that each and every one of you will pull every lever that you can, do every single thing that you can, so that those cries of "I can't breathe" that are resonating across our nation so powerfully and so acutely every single day will stop. It has to stop. So I stand here with you in solidarity. I don't see what is controversial. This is something that we must do, and we must do it now.
and to serve this community so that we can begin to get rid of this systemic racism that is in our historical institutions and make it better for the next generation and for us. Thank you.
Hi all. My name is Rachel Flanagan. I'm president of the Graduate Student Association, and I stand before you with a great amount of privilege in my role as president and as a white woman. I want to say that I am so moved and I overwhelmingly support the demands made by the students of the School of Medicine, by the Black community who works in the UIIM branch of all of our different medical facilities, and also by the BGPSA on our campus as well. And I want to say that in my role in my last month, I overwhelmingly support and pledge to you to champion every ask that you all have made of our administrations. I'm also proud to say that my successor and I are working together to champion this. And I just want to end by saying that I wrote this quote, I wrote the parts down. To bring about change, you must not be afraid to take the first step. We will fail when we fail to try. And I want to say that the Black community here at UCSD has taken the first step. They have clearly outlined what we can do to make this place better for the Black community. And now I challenge and demand our administration to not just serve platitudes, but to actually try to affect the change that the Black community needs at this time. I don't want to take up much more space, but I just want to thank you, commend you all, and I hope that the Graduate Student Association can be a partner in championing the cause, whether it's on this campus or in our advocacy efforts to the state, federal, local levels. We're here to support you, and we want to hear from you. Thank you.
Hi everyone, thank you for that. My name is Marsha Gill Davis. I am an alum of UCSD School of Medicine, which I have to say at the time when I was a student, our administration was actually very supportive of us as Black students and the students of color. So I definitely want to give credit to our administration when I was a medical student being a part of supporting us on the journey. I think one thing I just want to comment on is, you know, it's actually interesting to see that right now, speaking about racism, speaking against racism is popular. It is kind of the social trend at this point. And to think that 3 weeks ago this wasn't the case. There was a lot of fear and discomfort, which comes with talking about these very uncomfortable issues. But one thing that I am concerned about, and I do worry, is that in 3 weeks past today, what is it going to look like? And so I want to speak again to that importance of allyship. Yes, white allyship, because that is the linchpin. White people are the majority in this country, but allyship along all racial lines, all ethnicities, all people. Because it is not just protesting, that is the sound of alarm that we have a problem, but it is in the daily actions, behaviors, conversations, arguments that people are having. And I definitely, just from a social media standpoint, want to see more videos of white individuals having conversations with other white individuals about how we are going to dismantle racism. So it's these kind of steps we need to be taking. Thank you all so much for being out here. This is a different energy, and I think it's awesome and wonderful to see this.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rob Kirk. I've been gone for a while. I'm going to try to keep this short. So nervous too, so I'm trying to get there quickly. I'm in the Prime Health Equity Program. I
question, do you think that businesses and also that the black community did so purposely out of racism, or do you think it's just because they don't have money, essentially? And I told him the answer is that the two are so inextricably linked that it's impossible to differentiate the two. I just want everyone to do some research and look at the fact to see how the black communities are being disenfranchised economically in the U.S. and why that translates to so many health stories we see today. You think that you treat all patients the same, which I would hope everyone tries their best to do. Understand that when you have patients who don't have insurance and they wait longer for elective surgery, they don't have the same care as the patients who have their insurance, that disproportionately affects the black community, translates into the health experience we see today because of the way that black communities have been disenfranchised economically. So it's not an easy issue to solve. Money obviously is important in the health system, but try and be creative and understand that these issues that we have are going to take dedication, effort, teamwork, and a lot of creativity to try to figure out how we disentangle this economic disenfranchisement that translates into disparity that we see today, and therefore we perpetuate without even trying to do so. So, like I said, I don't want to take up too much time, but I just beg everyone to please, do that research and definitely understand that even though you are not trying to, the subconscious biases in the capitalist system in the history of our country makes everyone part of the system. In order to get out of that, we all need to have focused efforts, a lot of time, a lot of thought, and a lot of team. And thank you all.
So, my name is Mia Segoya, and I'm the Dean for Education here at the School of Medicine. I know our students know that. I want you to know that I came here today to support you, and I came here today to listen to you. And I think all of us are listening. It is unconscionable what happened to George Floyd. It is unconscionable for people to be afraid because of the color of their skin to go out and find a job. It is also unconscionable to me to think of UCSD as a racist institution. But I know we have biases. We have conscious biases and we have unconscious biases. I hope that you know that my goal in life has been to try to make the best doctors for all people, always. Healthcare disparities exist, and they are also unconscionable. So we do need to work together going from here forward to reduce those in every way possible. We need to work together to make sure that everyone in our community, our black students especially, feel welcome, feel this is a place that is for them and that shares their goal of reducing healthcare disparities, making sure that everyone gets the healthcare that they deserve and is treated everyone the way that they deserve. So know we are hearing you and we support you. Tomorrow morning we meet as an institution, as a healthcare institution, to look at the things you've asked us, and we will take them into very, very, very carefully. Thank you, thank you, thank you to all of you for coming. We're here to hear you, and we're here to support you.
Stand here before you, not knowing much about what to say. This past Saturday, I just took what seemed like the most important test of my life. It's step one. I can't tell you, it's like during this time, past 10 weeks that I've spent studying 12 hours every day for this test, and to see what seems like every few weeks, Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, every few weeks, it seems like another case comes up, another case of police brutality. And me, every single time this happens, someone reaches out to me, how are you doing? Are you okay? And to be honest, I'm not sure. I saw a social media post that went on to say that every single time another black individual is subject to police brutality, you're faced with the decision of whether to voice your opinion or whether or not to just be silent, numb yourself to the pain because you don't know how to feel. And it feels like these past 10 weeks, I've had to numb myself because if I get too lost and caught up in what's going on around me, then I can't focus on this test. I wonder, is that really fair? I can't really explain the pain, anger, and frustration I feel every single time one of these injustices happens. I can't explain to you what it's like knowing that that could have been me or any other of my brothers, my sisters, knowing that my mom got the call, knowing that I would have been there the next day, that she could call me and tell me that she loves me, or, you know, when are you coming back home? I've had situations where I remember 4 years ago when I first came to UCSB, I was just trying to figure out how to use one of the grills and barbecues out here. Someone called, I don't know what the situation was. The cops were called on me. 3 or 4 of them showed up, all just to approach me and ask about the situation that was going on. I thought, a flashback in my head was stay calm, you know, don't give them any suspicion to think that you're doing something. And I made it away from that situation safe and sound. I can't describe how nervous, how worried I was about that situation, that my life was in danger. And that's not the only time that I've been faced with the police, that they've been around me, and I've been genuinely scared for my life because I don't know what's going to happen. But this shouldn't be the case. For some reason it keeps happening. But if people have to face this every day of their lives, I question why people don't think that that's not okay, that we should do something about that. And even standing here, like I said, these past 10 weeks, I've been silent, I haven't said anything, I've been wondering what to say, I still don't know what to say. But what I've thought about these past 2 days, now that I've been free from studying, is that we have to start somewhere. I don't know what we need to do to bring about everything, but it all starts with voicing your voice and taking action, doing something. And by doing that, we'll figure it out. And so, when these events happen, you know, when you don't understand someone that's different than you in color, or their sexuality, their religion, I implore you not to judge, but to listen.